Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Giga here again. I'm starting this new series right now as we lead up to FIFA 23, where basically we're going to go through some different starter squads and then progressive squads and things like that for what I think people will aim for at the start of FIFA. Today's squad is easily going to be one of the cheaper squads that we do as we lead up to FIFA 23. I highly doubt this will be more than a 35,000 or 40, 50 max thousand coin team. So if you guys like this sort of stuff, make sure you hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. But without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into it. The first thing that I need to do, and I actually have a picture of this up because I don't want to forget all these. The first positional thing that we're going to do, and I know the positions don't matter too much, but at least for what we're doing, it is kind of important. The first position that we're doing is this 4-2-3-1, the second formation. The left wing or the left mid that we're going to be using is none other than, I believe it's, Daniel Podence. 90 pace, 85 dribbling, 65 passing, 71 shooting. So as you can see, a fast player with good passing, not the best shooter. He's more so going to be the catalyst of the team, if anything. The striker, or the person that's going to really be leading the charge, is actually going to be none other than Antonio from West Ham, who's got some really good physicals, some good pace, and then I think we'll be able to just hold up the ball well, cut and shoot sort of idea. In the sense that you're looking for a card that's or is at most a few thousand coins, and I think he'll do the trick. He also offers some pretty good links, which I think is important. The right wing is going to be none other than Mason Greenwood, simply for the fact that we need links, otherwise we don't really. Yeah, anyway, I'll leave that alone. But he's going to be the right mid or right wing. Now we start to get into some of the variation of the team. This is going to be a new addition. This player was actually in League 1 last year, I believe, but now he's in the Premier League, and that's Kamara. A pretty well-rounded, cheap, low-level CDM player, all in the 70s stats except for shooting. I think that he'll be at least usable, and so because of that I thought it'd be a good cheap option. For our other cam next to Podence, if you will, is actually going to be someone from the League 1, which is Claude Maurice. I was going to combine his name, the two names, but Claude Maurice. And so I think this card is probably going to be the most underrated card in the team. I think as a cam, his stats are actually better than what some of the other cards might be costing. And just because he's 77 rated, I think he'll be underrated. But in the final CDM, again, I think this is going to be one of those kind of quieter cards. We're going back to the EPL, and that's with Maitland Niles. I think that with the 81 pace and then at least 70, so 71 defense stat, I think that he'll be usable. I think this card, along with one other card, are probably going to be the two cards that I would replace first to try and get better. If you want to go for more attacking and that's what you're really into, by all means. I think that this, at least going from the midfield forward, is something that you can start with and then build off of, obviously. But we'll get into more teams. Like I said, each day we're going to be releasing a new team that I'm thinking of each day. Hopefully we get some more inspiration too. But going into the defense, our left back, going back to the League 1, and I had actually not been aware of this player until recently, is Mawasa. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. I believe that's League 1. I'm pretty sure that's League 1. And our next center back is going to be Denayer. And what I meant to say about the left back, this is not League 1, is it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Links are good. But I know I'm going to get some silliness for that. The left back has that French link, and then he's obviously got 84 pace, which is very, very good for what we're looking at. The 70 stats otherwise, again, similar to Kamara or the Maitland Niles card. I think that it's usable. I think that it'll do the trick for now, and then you build off of it later. Denayer, on the other hand, I think Denayer might be one of the more expensive cards in this team. With 83 pace, 81 defense, and 81 physical. It's probably the most typical player in the position at this point for this level of team. And then as we go to the other center back, this is the other player that I think would need upgrading the most, actually, before Maitland Niles personally, and that's Konate. Just because of the 71 pace, I feel like Konate is going to have a little trouble keeping up with any of the pacier players. And so, unless you're playing drop back, which I really hope you're not, but maybe you are. But yeah, I think that Konate's the first person that's going to get upgraded, at least if this is my starter squad. The right back is going back to the League One. Again, you see all these French links, and that's none other than Klaus. Klaus might be a little expensive, not a little expensive. He might be a few thousand coins at most starting the year, just because of the links. And then there's a lot of contention when it comes to these fullback positions, and so especially in the start of the year, like I remember last year, I think it was Mukiele and Upamecano were both like extinct at the beginning of the year because they were over 10,000 coins or something like that. So, we'll see. But Klaus is the one I'm going with there. And then the goalkeeper is a position where you can kind of choose who you want to. I personally have Lopez here, and I just don't think he's going to be that much more expensive than some of the other cards. He also links with Denayer, both with League One, but then also with Lyon. So the other person that I was thinking of when it comes to this is, now it's literally escaping me right now. Pau Lopez is fine, but I was actually thinking Lafont. Now the only thing with Lafont is it actually decreases Potence's and Denayer's chemistry, and so I guess that actually does matter. So Lopez fits well there. I'm sure that there are better teams out there, but this is a very, very starter-like squad. The actual prices on this stuff they don't really matter too much. It's hard for us to really see anyway, so we'll leave it at that. But come tomorrow, we'll be releasing about a 100k team that we're looking at, or at least what I think will be a 100,000 coin team. And what I'm thinking is we'll kind of like bounce up and down, but we'll see how it goes, like I said. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think of this team. Let me know what changes you would make to try and keep it relatively cheap. I would say to under 50k at 50k tops. But yeah, I hope you guys like this series, and I'm excited to get started with FIFA 23. FIFA 23, the last FIFA ever, as far as we know. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.